everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tabitha and I own an art shop where I turn my illustrations into stickers, bookmarks, cards, and more. It all started 3 years ago, back in January of 2022, when I decided to turn my art into stickers. So if you're wanting to open up your own art shop this year, I'm going to share 7 steps to get started. I'll also be including 3 different art shop ideas and how to make them. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's go ahead and get into step number 1. Okay, so actually before step number 1 is researching and finding inspiration. More than likely you've already done this if you are thinking about starting a small business. You're going to go to social media and find someone who is in the same niche or is doing something that you inspire to do. Here is a perfect example. Let's say you want to make clay art. Uncomfy Co. is very successful, makes super cute trinkets. So ask yourself, how does she market, price, and what is working well? This is going to create a foundation and give you some ideas. The first step to starting an art shop is the art. So step number 1 is to start designing. If you are not already drawing in some form, digitally or traditionally, I do think Procreate is a great app for beginners. It is what I started with and what I currently use to draw all of my designs, from stickers to bookmarks, cards, apparel designs. Everything I have on my shop was illustrated on Procreate. I do believe this is only available on Apple products, so if you have some other kind of tablet, you may have to look into some alternatives, but I started drawing on this iPad Air, and I get comments all the time like, what if I'm not artistic? What if I'm not creative? These were some of my very first drawings, so they were not great. Everyone starts somewhere. I started drawing on Procreate 2 years before ever opening up my shop, and over those 2 years I participated in a lot of Draw This in Your Style challenges, and over time developed my own style to a point where I was happy enough with my art to turn it into stickers. Step number 2 is to start your social media pages. You probably already have social media, so whenever you start your art shop, it's important to have one that's separate from your personal account. And you can create videos on maybe your creation process or just share some of your drawings. I recommend doing this before you open up your shop. That way you can start developing your audience for potential customers. 3 of the best platforms for this are Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. The main reason why I recommend going ahead and starting an Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube is you can actually cross-post. So when you film something for TikTok, you can post that on your Instagram Reels and your YouTube Shorts and grow all 3 social medias at the same time. Next is all the fun legal stuff and registering your shop name. I'm not going to go too far in depth with this since I'm not a professional, and of course if you want to register your shop name before starting a social media, you can do that, but you can always go back to your social media and change your name. So I would start with just Googling how to start a business in your state, and you will find a ton of helpful information and step-by-steps on how to do this. And step number 4, you're finally ready to order your supplies and start making your products. In January of 2022, I decided to turn my art into stickers, and this was the very first product I released. I feel like a lot of other small businesses also start with stickers, but you can also make bookmarks or even greeting cards, and I'm going to show you how to make all 3 and what I use. So 2 of my first big investments were my Canon IP8720 and my Cricut Explore Air 2. To make stickers, of course, you're going to need sticker paper. If you want to make glossy, matte, clear, it's totally up to you. I will have everything I mentioned in this video linked down below. If you want to laminate your stickers, I use these thermal laminating pouches, and I will show you exactly how I use them. Because they're thermal, I also have this laminator, but you can use self-adhesive laminate if you would like. For all of my die cut stickers or single stickers, I use either regular glossy sticker paper or clear, and I print these either one on glossy photo paper setting. For all of my sticker sheets, that is when I use matte sticker paper. I do have a full tutorial on how I make stickers, so I'll have that link down below, but I go ahead and print 2 of these sticker sets. Because I'm using those laminating pouches, I'm going to end up pulling them apart. So what I do is lay it on top of one of the sticker sheets and trim it so that way the laminate is within the registration marks. I peel the pouch apart and just lay that on top of the sticker sheets. Because this is thermal laminate, it is not sticky yet, so I can always move it around and adjust it if I need to. I prefer thermal because I don't have to worry about air bubbles. So then I run it through my laminator on hot. After that, I'm gonna go ahead and just get it to my Cricut mat. I do have to tape and Sharpie over the registration marks whenever using glossy paper, because unfortunately the Cricut just has a problem with glossy paper and it blinds the sensor. So I always have to use tape, which is a hassle, but it works. Once I'm done with that, I run it through my Cricut machine, and this is going to be one of the biggest trial and errors, is figuring out the cut settings. So whether you're making these die cut or if you're making a sticker sheet with the kiss cut setting, it's a lot of trial and error. I would start off by trying Poster Board Plus and see if that works for you when doing die cut stickers. And that's it. I just gently fold the mat in half, not all the way to actually crease the mat, but just enough so that the stickers actually pop up and it makes it way easier to remove them. For bookmarks, which is actually probably my favorite thing to make, I have this paper trimmer. Then for my laminated bookmarks, I use the Koala double-sided glossy photo paper. For my bookmarks that are not laminate, I use heavy-duty cardstock. And then the laminate is the same laminate I use for my stickers, which are the thermal laminating pouches. And to round the corners of the bookmarks, you'll either use one of these little square rounders or the crocodile, which is great for the thicker laminated bookmarks. If you would like to add a tassel, you'll also need this eyelet setter kit. So I'm going to show you how I make my most popular bookmark and also how I make my laminated bookmarks in the little like real style. So the first thing is of course just printing the bookmark. For the laminate, I just use those pouches and then run through my laminator on hot. For these matte ones, it's just simply printing, running through the Cricut, and then adding the tassel. I have a full video on these as well that I'll link down below. For greeting cards, I use the same heavy cardstock that I use for my matte bookmarks. You'll also need a scoreboard to be able to score down the middle of your card so you can easily fold it. And lastly, the paper trimmer. So out of these three ideas, greeting cards are definitely the easiest. But a really cool thing about any of these is a lot of the materials are interchangeable. So like this paper is the same paper I use for my bookmarks, and then the laminate that is the same for the laminated bookmarks or the stickers. So you can really do all of these ideas if you're thinking about opening up an art shop. With cards, it's just simply printing, trimming off the edges, and then using the scoreboard to mark down the middle to create that folding crease. Before you decide to open up your shop, I just recommend practicing a bunch. No matter what art idea you decide to go with, practice and go ahead and stock up on a few, that way you are ready. Some other art shop ideas are apparel, sublimation items, so you can make mouse pads. You can even do apparel with sublimation, clay figures, trinkets, or even clay jewelry, enamel pins, which are so fun. This one you obviously have to go through a manufacturer for, but they can be really cute. Crochet or stitching. You could sell digital downloads, so downloads of your art or bookmarks, whatever it may be. This is a really cool business idea because it basically turns into passive income. So once you upload that digital download, all you have to do after that is celebrate when you get an order. Of course, prints of your art, and last thing are sun catchers, which are so fun. I do have a tutorial on my channel if you want to see how to make those. I do want to mention, if you do not have the time or the money to invest in making any of these things at home, you can always go through manufacturers. So basically you will send your design to a company, they will make it and then ship it back to you, so then you can ship it to your customers. You'll also need packing supplies, so you can use either envelopes, there are little bubble mailers, and you can even get custom bubble mailers if you want to put your own design and make it unique to your shop. If you're going to ship with tracking, I recommend just starting off with these printable shipping labels. All you have to do is just run it through your printer with a 4x6 setting, and this is where I started. Once you start getting more orders, you can invest in one of these thermal label printers. If you do end up using regular envelopes, you'll need stamps. So maybe some domestic stamps and some international. A cute way to make every order a little more special is by including a thank you card where you can write their name on one side and maybe have a little freebie spot on the other. I make all of my own packing materials and thank you cards, but if you don't want to have to design your own, Canva is a really great website to use for designing thank you cards. But because I really just like having my own art on everything, I decided to design my own. So I always just make sure to include my website and my social media handle. This is also a great way to save some money. That way you're not having to purchase thank you cards and packing materials from a manufacturer and having to meet that minimum. If you are already using Procreate and drawing your own designs, then just go ahead and make your own thank you cards too, because you can really make it unique to your shop that no one else has. Because if you use a site like Canva, there's a really good chance that other shops are using the same images and themes. Some other things that you might want to look into are these little cellophane sleeves to protect your products when shipping, and some washi tape just to make the envelope a little cuter and add a little touch of color. It's almost time to open up your shop, but first you need product photos. So just find somewhere that receives really great natural light. Natural light is free and it looks the best. So I take all of my photos just simply using my iPhone, and most of the time I also edit in the photo app. So I will just turn it to vivid in the filters and brighten up the overall image. Then I typically crop it to a square size because that's pretty much universal whether you're using Etsy, Shopify, Faire. If you do want to use an actual editing app, Lightroom is really great, and sometimes I will use that. Yay, you are ready to open up your shop. So you can use either Etsy, Shopify, or some other type of website builder. I do think Etsy is great for beginners since it is a marketplace. You don't have to rely on already having an audience established, but Shopify is wonderful if you want to create your own website and have more control over what your website looks like and really cater it to your shop theme. Here are two ways to price your products. So the simple way is to just look at other small business owners and what they are charging. So you could go to Etsy, type in stickers, and see, find a sticker that matches yours, same material, size, and see how much they are charging. The next way to do this is cost of materials and time. Time is obviously kind of hard to determine what to charge for that, but for cost of material, just take the item. So like this vinyl sticker pack is $20.99, the 55 sheets, that's 38 cents per sticker sheet. So I charge $3 for a sticker, minus 75 cents for supplies, 25 cents for time, and all of the fees. And let's just say we're going to do 6.5% that Etsy does. That leaves me with $1.87. So you just want to make sure you're pricing your products enough that you are still making a profit. Okay, let's talk about the differences between Etsy and Shopify and who these are really made for. So Etsy is going to be a great place to start for beginners. It's where I started, and lots of other small businesses that I follow also started on Etsy. Because it's a marketplace, Etsy drives traffic to your little Etsy shop, so you don't have to worry about it as much or worry about having an audience on social media. There are customers on Etsy shopping daily. The biggest con with Etsy are the fees. They take a lot of money from every order, which is just absolutely crazy. They take a 6.5 transaction fee, a 3% processing fee, there's a 20-cent listing fee, and if you choose to use the ads, which sometimes you have to be able to even get your product to stand out, there are a lot of different fees that go into Etsy. So once you have an established social media where you have an audience of potential customers, that is when it's a great time to look into Shopify. With Shopify, you have to drive all of your own traffic. So that can sometimes be a little bit difficult, but some of the really great things about Shopify is it is like a website builder. So you build your website on there and you take orders and all of that right there on Shopify. So you can truly make it your own and unique to your shop. Another thing about Etsy that I've heard from a lot of other small business owners is for some reason, they will just randomly close down shops, which is really kind of scary. There is a girl that I currently follow who makes little like mug rugs, and Etsy just randomly closed her shop. She had over 3,000 sales, and I don't know if there was a reason for it, but I've heard this happening a lot. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. That is a little bit scary. With Shopify, you don't have to worry about that. So there really are pros and cons to both. I currently use both Etsy and Shopify, and I've been getting more orders on Etsy. So you just have to decide which one is best for your shop, or just go ahead and do both. Another website that I recommend trying is Faire. This is a wholesale site. I actually signed up for Faire about a month after I started my shop, and then 2 months later I was approved. So there is a wait list. You have to be approved before you can actually start selling on there. But if you're not familiar with wholesale, it's basically where you are selling your products at a wholesale price, and then stores will purchase that and resell it for the full price. Something that's really cool about Faire is you can sell in minimums. So I have my bookmarks set at a minimum of 3 and a stickers a minimum of 5. These are called cases. You can also set full order minimum amounts as well. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Definitely leave a comment down below if you are planning to open up your own art shop this year, and I will see you in my next video very soon. Bye.